Okay, a little bit of technological issues there. My name is Pico Triano. Haven't done a Sabbath walk video in quite a while. If you've seen the last one, you know that things have changed a bit. We did have some leaves on the tree still a couple of days ago, but we had our third major windstorm of the year yesterday. In fact, it took a few more trees down. I was quite impressed. We didn't think we had much damage back here from what was left of Hurricane Dorian, but it's worse than I expected. Worse if you're a tree, because a lot of them went down in the back where you can't see. For us, that's not such a bad thing. It does give us a supply of firewood and wood for me to wood turn with, and building material, because I'm allowed to grab all that. Fortunately, there was no damage to other material. We did lose hydropower again yesterday for most of the day while I was home. I wasn't able to wasn't able to do any recording because I wanted to yesterday, but there was no way to do it. I'm just gonna wander a little. This is a pathway we've normally done on other ones, but I'm gonna go off into the bush here just for fun. Just something to do. You can see there's the fall is getting ready for winter. So I'm going to sneak through here. There's some brambles to go through, but there used to be a sawmill back in here, and what I'm walking on here, except for this ditch and a little bit of the brambles, which are hard to get through or not fun to get through, there's a bit of a roadway here, or an old roadway. You can see some firewood stacked there. We've been back here collecting some of the dead stuff that went down. Reason being, that makes terrific firewood. No cost. If you look there carefully, you can see a couple that are leaning cockeyed. Most of this is new since Hurricane Dorian, and some of them are new from yesterday. In fact, just gonna circle around over here. You can see one busted off right there. That one came down yesterday, but the one crossing it that's coming down the other direction came down with Hurricane Dorian. So both of those are white spruce, long straight stuff, combination of firewood and building material for us. Now some of this has been down for a while. We're cutting up the dead wood here for our winter firewood supply. And I don't know how noticeable it is, but this is a roadway. There's definitely two tracks going into the bush. None of the buildings from this logging thing exist anymore. There's a bit of a depression in the ground there where something might have been. You can see there's another dead tree that went down right here. Some of these are a little bit of an adventure to cut up and cut down because they're hanging up. You got to figure out where they're going to go before you cut them, because you don't want them to land on you or land anywhere else. You see peering into the bush, there's a lot of other dead stuff. Usually the dead stuff stays standing longer than some of the green stuff, but we're going in there and cleaning that up and bringing it home for the wood stove. We need the firewood, and I don't like leaving a major fire hazard here for next summer. The fire hazard would affect me probably more than anyone else back here. You can see there's a pretty massive tree there. Those ones handle things quite well. That looks like a white pine. Just looking up to the top there. Nice big tree. Not mine to cut down. Besides, I don't just cut down trees for fun of it. Most of what I cut is stuff that's fallen. A lot of this dead stuff on the bottom of these trees. These are white spruce. Bottom branches often die off on them. They are really nice kindling. They are so dry, and they've got a little bit of resin in them, so you want to get a fire going, that's what you would want to use, because it does an excellent job. Just wandering a little further in here. I know Wesley would love to be with me, but I'd rather do a lot of my Sabbath walk solo. Kind of quiet. Enjoy it. This is trackable quite far back in here. Wesley and I went down it once. You can see there's trees on here that are like 20 years old, though, that kind of mask where it went. But we're clearly still on this little roadway. It's kind of too bad none of the buildings survive in any form. Off to the side there is an old hunt camp that's collapsed. I'm not going to go wander up to that. Wesley and I can do a video on that another time. And here the direction of it kind of gets vague, but if you look, you can still see up ahead there's a track that continues going. Wesley and I tried to track it all the way to the end once, and we kind of lost track of it somewhere. But it is clearly a place where vehicles went in the past. And it hasn't been used for at least 30 years. Probably longer. A nice little quiet spot in the forest. Looks like the damage isn't too bad back here. Where the trees are nicely clumped together, they usually stand up pretty good to a wind like that. But where they're a little mixed, or where there's a bit of a clearing somewhere, there's usually a lot more damage. This might actually be a bit of a pathway over the field on the side. I have not explored it before. Hey, Wesley and I love to go stomping around the bush here. Trick is not to get lost.